Hello once again, wonderful people. Okay, today now we'll be going on to the next part of the Corel Draw interface, which is understanding navigation and manipulation of elements on your design page. Okay, the purpose of this part of this series is to help you understand how to move about the Corel Draw program, as regard how to move elements from one place to another, how to make selections, understanding why you make selections. This one will be very brief, but it's just to give you an overview of what you should understand for those who do not know how to use the program yet. And I hope the previous lesson did give a sketch of it, but this one will try to expand more on it. Thank you. So the first things first, we want to understand setting up your page. I told you on the other lesson that when nothing is selected, immediately you create a new document on your page, it comes up with a white canvas depending on what you have selected as the medium for your print, which is the paper, your page size. So immediately it opens, it comes up with this, and you have this pattern, your property bar, showing properties of your page. You see that the first place here is showing A4, which means your page size is A4. This other place is showing the size in millimeters, and the reason for this is because the unit of our measurement selected here is millimeters. So you have to take note of this whenever you're making a design. Ensure, for example, you have a client who's asked you, or you have a project, a personal project that you're working on, and you need, say, maybe something in 5 inches wide and maybe 3 inches high. But now it will be a lot of task for you to start converting those measurements you made in inches to millimeters before you can manually enter them here. That would be a lot of mathematical class. So what you can actually do is change your unit of measurement first to the unit of measurement you have used to measure, or that the client has given you the design request in. There are, for most of those people for most of you who will be designing for the web, your pixels, you use the unit of measurement pixels. Pixels are actually very small. They're like your computer screen displays in pixels or in points. So usually people would go for pixels for web. Maybe a client may say, I need a banner of 250 pixels wide and 19 pixels high. In that case, you shouldn't use millimeter. That will give you an overplotted size. You use pixels. But if you are doing normal print, you have a ruler that has centimeters or inches, you can select. I, for one, I like using inches, so let's go for inches. And you notice that the unit of measurement that was at 2110 something before is now 8.268. That's the width of this A4 paper by 11.6. So you can also change the size if maybe you are designing specifically for something, or you can apply a design size to your box. But let's just make sure that the page you are designing on is bigger than the content you are creating. Understand? That way you can just use the page as your main canvas, while the other outside can be your workspace. Understand? And the next part here, it talks about the orientation of your page. You can select if your print medium is to come out as a medium page, or as a portrait, meaning straight, or landscape, lying down, slanted, something like this is a landscape. Although this only mostly applies to just your page. If you depending on the measurement you make, it should align accordingly as necessary. So this particular place is talking about applying these same settings you set at first to every part of any other page that you'll be creating alongside in the document. A document can have more than one page. That's for those persons who will be doing maybe back and front designs or brochures, flyers, leaflets that have more than one page, magazines. As time goes on, we'll explain more of that. Why this part talks about selecting your current settings just for the current page we are on. For example, now we're on page 2, so it's telling me that any setting I make here now should only apply to page 2. I already explained this. This is talking about your inches unit of measurement. So we talked about that. So we're important thing, we've set our unit of measurement to what unit I'll be using to measure my real life design, or what unit of measurement that the client has used to say I need so and so and so thing. So that's on setting up your page. Next one, understanding layers and order. Yes, this is very important aspect of design, because there are some times when you are trying to design something and one thing might come on first before another. And maybe you are trying to draw, make an ID card. You've already drawn the background, then you put an image, and later on you want to edit a text. The way it happens is that the most recent element you input on your workspace stays on the top of every other element. Let's take an example. This, I'm drawing a blue box first, I'm drawing a red box second, I'm drawing a yellow box next. Just watch this. You see that putting red on top of blue, red is on top of blue, yellow is on top of red. So if I say I should put blue on top of yellow, you see that it still goes behind. Put it blue on top of red, you see it still goes behind. So what happens is this: the blue is the last was the one that was first created, so it's the older element, so it's behind. Red follows before it, so it is, you see, it's behind like that. So what do you do in cases like this? Because definitely you come across this. So that's what you have to undo with understanding layers. So blue as it is now is on its own layer, red is on its own layer, yellow is on its own layer. You understand? You can work with this layer, you can use this as layer to create elements within those layers, like by power clipping a particular box to use as one layer, but you don't really need to do all that. So that's for layers. Then the next one is order. Order now is how you want how you want me the thing to follow. So in the order in which they should appear. If maybe in my design I now want this yellow to be behind the red, you see this option here, to back, shift page down. However, this option just takes it directly back. So for the sake of this one, I'll just teach you the shortcut, because it's kind of easier to just do it with the shortcut. So when you are in case of this yellow that I want to take down to the page, to the behind the other object, I click on it. Always remember, applying any effect or setting to a particular element, you must select on it. So now after clicking on the yellow box, I hold my control button down, or command if you are using a Mac, and then I press page down. You see a PGDN on your keyboard that has the page down. Usually amongst the cursor control keys area. Depending on if you are using a laptop, some laptops require you to press FN before selecting it. So control and page down. You see it has gone behind the red box now. So I don't have to delete everything again and start drawing them in order. You can just manually do it. If I press it again, maybe if I move it to this side, now you see that it's page down, but it's behind red, but it's still on top of blue. So if I want to take it behind blue also, what do? Control page down on it again while it's being selected. You see that it has gone behind. So this is even green, or not blue, green. It has gone behind the blue box. So if you want to bring it back up, what you just do is hold control again to bring it back up. Sorry, just press control page up, but you must select the element. Control page up, it comes up 1. Control page up, it comes up 2. If you want to take it back direct, that's when you use shift and page down. It just goes to the back of every element on the page. If you want to bring it to the top of every element on the page, you press shift also and page up. Now to understand this thing, you will see that if I take this page up now is the latest element created. If I take it over here, you see it's on top of every other one except the green one, because I use Shift Page Up of the green one that brings it up. So what if I want to take the text up, I select the text, press CTRL Page Up till it comes to the very top. Understand? So that's what layers and other. Oops. The next one will be on working with the Powerclip feature. Yeah, this is very important. It makes your job look very nice. I'll make an explanation. It's usually used to clip out portions of text so that it fits in on different shape as you want. For example, let's say this. I'm going to give an example quick. Now this to import. Let's assume this. Import. I'll explain what import does later. Import is actually to bring in elements into your elements such as images, EPS, Illustrator files, and all that. So now if I take this and I use my right click button to drag it on top of the triangle, you see my mouse pointer changes to something like a target. Now if you leave it, you can choose to move it there. That one does not do anything. But when you click on Powerclip, just watch what happens. Clicking on Powerclip, it puts it inside the triangle. You see, so when I'm moving the triangle now, it moves with it because it is now clipped inside triangle. So the triangle will now be the one that determines its size, the shape of which it is displayed. But all hope is not lost. Now if you're wondering, maybe it cut out some things, you can also edit the clip. All you have to do is right click on it, and you see, remember there's between right click and the left click. So right click brings out options on the selected element, and click on edit Powerclip. So with this edit Powerclip, now we can adjust the image till it fits. Let's just say do something like adjust it as we want, depending on you. If I close now, you see every other part has cut off, but this part is still showing. What if I manipulate the shape on the property of this triangle? Remember, to manipulate property of something, you can always see it on the property bar. So let's assume I give it something like this shape. So you see, it's clipped inside. So usually I advise people to do their designs in clips like this because it makes it easy for you to work with elements. For example, if I want to create an effect like what you saw on our first page, which is something like this, you see this blue line cropped out somewhere like this, and this one cropped out somewhere like this, was made by me. Is what you can do in such a scenario. Now you see the first page is on a rectangle, so draw your rectangle to whatever size. Now let's assume this is the size that I want to do my project in. Then I draw whatever elements I want. Remember, select it and use the right click button to drag it on top. Then you click on Powerclip inside, and it has put it inside. So right click again and say edit Powerclip. Now you can move it accordingly. I'll give it your color. Then there was also another one there. You can click on it, press your CTRL D to duplicate. It creates another copy, and drag it, put it there accordingly. Then close. Then you can right click on any one again and click on finish editing this level, or you see this icon here, you click on it and watch what happens. So you have even used it to create something like a pattern, a format for your design. So it's also nice to do stuff like that. So that's that of Powerclip feature. Practice it again. Remember, you select, you use your right click button to drag into the medium that you want to create the Powerclip. Thank you.